Hello guys, my name is Alan and I'm back again with a better video now. Um, Now I will show you how to set up your Logitech G910 keyboard to work with any game that you can think of. It's gonna be pretty simple, but you'll have to follow a couple of steps. Right now, as you can see, I'm setting up with two different applications and I will show you how to make it work with both of them. One is better than the other. One is the original application, which is the Logitech Gaming Software, and the other one is Aurora. This is a fan-based application for those who want to just take everything that you can think of out of your keyboard. It will completely use and make your keyboard as dynamic as possible. Now, one right now in a corner, I'm not sure where, I will just place a number. I will just place a big number 1 if you are interested in setting up your game with the Logitech Gaming Software in case that you don't want to complicate things too much. And I will leave a number 2 if you want to continue with the Aurora software. You have to be a little bit more, you need a little bit more knowledge to make it work with Aurora. So what I'm going to show you is how to set it up. First of all, what we're going to need is the most updated version. So I will close the Aurora software for now. Let's leave it behind and I will go back into it. I will leave a link or a click button somewhere so you can skip it in case that you're not interested in the Logic keyboard software. Now, there's one very important rule. Aurora does not work without the Logitech Gaming Software. It needs one another to communicate with the keyboard, alright? Just to let you know. Now let's go to basics. The Logitech Gaming Software is pretty much everything that you're going to use to make your keyboard light up the way you want. Alright, so what I'm going to do is lower down the camera into the keyboard so you can see exactly what's going on with the keyboard and not my face. Alright, I turned off the light so it's better for you to see every change that's going on into the keyboard. Now, first of all, very important. In the last video I did not say this, but this is pretty important now that the Logitech Gaming Software got an update. The first thing that you want to do is go, for those who already have it installed, if you already downloaded it from the original website, then that's perfectly fine. What you want to do is go to this question mark and you'll see that an arrow will pop up. You click on it and then you want to go to check for updates. It will automatically do it for you. And it will take a while because it's a big software. And of course mine is already being set up and ready to use. Now, once you've done it, you will see that there's a couple of changes. Here you will have the application to make it work with the ARX control system, which is pretty much what you use to work it with your Android device. Or if you don't have it or you don't want to use it, then let's just stick to what we came here. Now, first of all, I'm going to do it all over again and I will teach you how to set up every game that you want with the application or software, okay? I mean with this Logitech Gaming Software. Because I don't want you to go through my whole video again. I will leave a couple of bookmarks on the description so you can skip through a couple of steps, alright? Right now, let's set it up. So, first of all, I'm pretty sure that you won't have this as filled as I do. I even have it set up for Word, and because I like to see my keyboard change a lot, alright? And let's see, what's the most common game right now? Let's say Hearthstone, alright? Let's say that we don't have it, so let's delete this. Alright, I wanna make Hearthstone make my keyboard change colors. So the first thing that we wanna do is go either here or here, because we have the profile bar up here, and then we click on this plus sign. Now it will give me this pop-up window. We wanna add a name, which is gonna be Hearthstone, alright? And then we click on this plus sign because this will give us this box where you can add every game, any game that you want. Of course we want to look for Hearthstone. there is a really important issue here because some games are not as easy to look for. So for example, in Hearthstone, what you just have to do is to look for your game. I already have it on a different hard disk drive and everything. So if I go to Battle.net, go to Hearthstone, and it will give me the Hearthstone.exe that we need and that we're looking for. This is really important because this is how the Logitech gaming software is going to work. As soon as this application launches, it will react with the keyboard, right? So let's just open it and it will add it into this box. Now let's just forget about the rest, alright? If you click on this log profile where the game is running, that means that it won't change even if you alt tab. If you wanna do something else, for example, just browse Facebook and you have the game running in the background, if you lock the profile, it means that it will stay with the color scheme that you're going to set up for Hearthstone, alright? So let's just click on OK and it will add it here. And now, the important thing, how to make it change color. So what we're going to do is go into this little light bulb here and select it. You click on this little arrow here and then look for it. There it is, Hearthstone, which is already been selected. And I don't want it to be the purple color that I already have. So let's just change it. There are going to be 4 options for us. First is the freestyle lighting mode, which means that I can just do whatever the heck I want with it. Pretty easy and straightforward. Then the lighting zone mode, which I can select, which means that I can select part by part, and I mean box by box, where I want the keyboard to be changed. So this is just a test that I did, so I can show you how colorful it can look. Now the commands. This is not that good. The command section is just that it will, how to say it, it will just work with what's mostly used actively in the game. So it will search into the game key mapping and add a different color to those keys. I really don't like this lighting mode because it's just a 2-color mode. And now the one that I really like, which is the effect mode. Here since Hearthstone doesn't require a keyboard, then I just want it to be having, let's say, color wave. Yeah, from center on or horizontal or vertical. I like it to be from center on, and I don't like it to be that fast because I feel like I'm having a seizure. So let's just leave it like that, alright? Then you can just go ahead and close it. And now let's look for Hearthstone and see if it works. So if I just go here, then I launch Hearthstone, it doesn't even think for a second. Even before the game is open, it already changes the color for your keyboard. It's excellent. Now let's do it with the second step. Now there are some games that are a little bit more complicated than that, because it's not as easy to look for where the game is stored, alright? So that goes, for example, for League of Legends, that goes for a couple of Steam games, and I don't know if you use Origin and Uplay or whatever. So Battle.net is pretty easy and straightforward, but let's just try with a Steam game, alright? So let's say Rocket League. Rocket League is a perfect example, and I will use this for Aurora as well. Now, let me go to Logitech Gaming Software. I will delete the Rocket League setup that I had because, oh, whoops, I'm sorry. Because otherwise it will automatically work with what I have. So of course, if I launch it, nothing's gonna happen. I'm sure that this is exactly what's going on with all of you. But we need it running to know where the game is located, alright? So this is what we're going to do. As soon as the game is running, just leave it in the let's just keep it here in the main menu, alright? Then we're going to press Control Shift Escape. It will minimize the game and it will give me the task manager. Why do we need this? It's pretty easy because we want to look for the Rocket League exe or the application that is running within the memory files. So what we're gonna do is right click on it and then go to open folder location or open file location. It will give us exactly where the exe is located, and that's how the Logitech Gaming Software, that's what it's going to read in order to make the keyboard change. Alright, so now that we have this window here, we're going to go back into the Logitech Gaming Software, and we're going to add, and then we say Rocket League, then we click again this plus sign, and unfortunately the software is not as efficient, so it will always open into the default location where the software was installed. But we need this open folder, this open window here right now. So what we're gonna do is click on this empty section and it will give us the path where the game is located. Then we copy it, go to the Logitech Gaming Software, and we paste it here. And we click enter, we press enter, and it will give us a straightforward where the exe is. So we just select it, click open, and it will add it here. Click on OK, and it is already being added. Look at it. It also took the icon. Isn't it cool? Now, of course, if we go to the Rocket League application, it just won't change because we hadn't set up the lighting system. We go to the light bulb, blah, blah, blah. Didn't say anything. Let's go to a light bulb and add something cool. For example, what I love, it's the color wave, and this one vertical. So when we close it, which is pretty much a saving, we go back to Rocket League and it will automatically work out, and it will stay like that until you close the game. So let's just exit, and it goes back to purple. It's pretty easy and straightforward. Now, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I will try to help you my best. Now, there are some more difficult games. For example, those who use launchers like League of Legends. You do exactly the same, but the problem is that with League of Legends, you have to wait until the game is actually running. So my suggestion is that you do a custom game, and then you click and then you do the task manager thingy, which is with the Control Shift Escape. Alright, and it will give you exactly where the game is located. Now there is one really important thing to consider here. Games that are constantly being updated are gonna lose the lighting setup. That is usual as heck, because normally developers change the, how is this called, the file version folder. So there is one folder that says version that will change where the exe file is located, and since we already had it set up into a specific folder, when it gets updated, it's like a new game for it, and you will have to do this every time that a game gets patched. Now League of Legends, I just stopped worrying about it. They update that game like every single game, and I'm just sick and tired of it. There are other games that are just more reliable for it. Now that we're finished with the Logitech Gaming Software, I'll close it, and then I'll go with Aurora for those who are interested into making your keyboard work with Aurora. Now, Aurora is an additional application for all of those who have RGB keyboards. At least those keyboards that have dynamic effects on. For example, Razer, for example, Corsair, and of course Logitech. Since you see a couple of other keyboards that, oh, they have like this lighting effect, please buy our keyboard, and this is the perfect example. You see that it will react to what's going on in the game. This is what we want with our keyboard as well. So this is how you take the max out of your keyboard. See, it looks pretty cool, and why not have it, alright? So, first of all, I'm gonna leave this link on the description so you can check it out. And what we want to do, we downloaded it, and what you want to do to download it is go here into the GitHub icon, because if you scroll down, it's just gonna give you everything that is in the application. Well, you go into the GitHub here, and this is just for developers. Just don't mind that. Just go and scroll down, and where it says how to install, you want to make sure that you have the C++ package and the .NET framework installed as well. This is pretty important because this is how our keyboard is gonna be communicating with the computer. Now, you want to go here, download the latest release. You click on it, and then you just have to download this zip file. Don't download the source or the code unless you are a developer. I'm not a developer, but if you are interested, I highly suggest you to go through this issues tab here and try to help out this developer, because he's doing an awesome job and he's pretty much on his own. I'm really looking forward to see this application working a little bit better and with more games. Now, back into business. As soon as you open Aurora, which I already have it downloaded, it will give you this bunch of files. When you open it, you just have to give it a lot of permissions. That's pretty normal, and for some reason stability issues are common. Like, it gets stuck every time that I open it for some reason. Now, as soon as you open it the first time, it will give you a couple of instructions on what you have to do in order to make it work correctly, alright? So be sure to check out those instructions pretty damn well, otherwise you will have issues. Now, I love this thing. It's great, but it has a couple of issues. For those who are interested, I think the main thing that this has is the desktop settings. This is just amazing. But the thing is, and this is a major problem with it, is that you either have to choose between working with Aurora or the Logitech Gaming Software, because it will not mix. Like, if you already set up Rocket League for the Logitech Gaming Software, you have to reset it up here on this Aurora software. Rocket League is probably a bad example because it already has support precisely for that game. But for other games, you have to do exactly the same thing that we've done. If you want to do a custom game, one that is not listed in here, then you click on add new lighting profile, and in this little window here, you want to look for the exe file that you're interested in. So for example, I say that Hearthstone is not in there, so I just choose hearthstone.exe, and then I pretty much just select everything that I want to the color changing. I will go into it later. How to change it, how to set it up for many games, just give me 1 minute and I will be there. Now, let's just go first into the desktop settings. I love this part. This is so good that it will actually read Windows based information, alright? So if I go here into CPU or RAM usage, you see that there is a check mark on the CPU usage on keyboard. That means that it will go through the F1 to F12. Now you see that it has assigned keys for that, and the more CPU usage is done, the more it's gonna be lit up. So right now I don't have a way to make my CPU go crazy, but you will see that RAM does. So I don't know, let's say I really have no idea what to do to make it. Let's just go into YouTube or something like that, and you'll see that the RAM usage will start increasing accordingly. So let's just close it, and you will see that this 4 is not gonna be there anymore. because it's actively checking into Windows information into how much RAM is being used. So this is great. If you want to change it, go ahead. Like, I will show you right now how to do it. If you go here, you go to freestyle mode. That means that you can select whatever the hell you want to show you your CPU usage. So for example, I want to do it from A to the enter key. So you see that it lights up everything exactly the same as it was with the F keys, but that's just a way of showing it. If I want it to be, oh, I don't want it to be horizontal, I want it to be vertical, so let's just shrink it a little bit, and I'm just gonna rotate it, and it's like having something below the keyboard lighting it up. It's amazing. So if I want it to be on the numeric keyboard, then there you go. From the numlock to the 0 key, it will give me how much RAM is being used. So let's just take this off. You can change it as much as you want. Now, shortcuts assistant. This is really cool, but it's not really as useful. That means that when you press a key and you have to combine it with something else, it's gonna light up differently. So for example, let's say that I want to copy or paste something. As soon as I press Ctrl, it will light up every single key that I can assign this Ctrl. If I want to, the same goes with the Window key, and the same goes with the Alt key. So it's like guidance for those who don't know how to make Windows shortcuts. I think it's a pretty neat usage, but it's just kind of lazy, if you know what I mean. Now, color zones. You see that my keyboard is blank. I just want to add a new zone, and let's say that I want it to be yellow. So single color overlay. Alright, let's use freestyle mode, and let's just do this from here to here. Alright, now you see that I selected yellow and it's going on red, right? Let me just fix that for a second. Now the zone color means that is not gonna light up the keys. It's just how the application will let me know what it's just informative. I don't know how to explain it, but if you want to change this red right here, you go into these three dots and then you change the primary color into what you want it. So I want it green. Let's say I want it green. Now secondary color is in case that you want to add an effect. So for example, every time that I press a key, it will go blue, for example. Let's just save it. And this is single color overlay. That means that it will stay the way it is, no matter what I do. Color breeding is that it will change from green to the other color that I select, which is blue. And it will change in the way that I want it. So if I select this and go to the three dots, I can just add this bit into how often I want it to change. Now I want it to quake because it will give me some sort of epilepsy. Now another thing that you can do is rainbow shift. It will go from side to side, changing colors, and the same goes into all these different modes of lighting effects. I suggest you check it out yourself, play with it, do as much as you want. Make sure that you select this freestyle mode, because otherwise you will have to assign key by key what you want to do and which ones you want it to work. So stop assigning. That means that this one will start changing accordingly to what I selected. It's pretty cool, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather use the freestyle mode because it's way easier to deal with. And interactive effects. That means that, for example, when I press a key, I want the razor effect, where you press the keyboard, it will make a wave. So if I press G, it will make the quick wave. If I want it filled, then just select key wave filled, and it will do the same thing. Now this is pretty cool, but having my keyboard lit up differently so many times is gonna drive me insane at some point. So what I like is key fade. That means that when I press something, oh whoops, I selected something else. Key fade. That means that when I select something, it's gonna eventually go away. I love this one. Now let's just take this off. This is for the keyboard application. Now, I don't play Dota. That's up to you. The same goes for Counter-Strike. I just gave you quick setup for this application. Now there is something really important that I can show you right now. Some of these games require to be patched. What does this mean? That means that the application of Aurora needs to add a couple of files into the game so it communicates with the game and know what's going on inside. So it's pretty cool. So let's say Overwatch, for example. Remember when it had an alt up, or if you die, the whole thing goes black. And if you have your heroic ability up, the keyboard will start glowing differently accordingly. And the same goes for, I don't know, Hanzo's ulti with the twin dragons, and you will see that the twin dragons will go riding across the keyboard. That can only be done with the specific files that will communicate the right way. So what you want to do is just follow what it says here. In order for Overwatch to support to work, you have to apply the Aurora wrapper patch for Razer, and you have to locate the game, and it will add it. So let's check this in action. If you go to Overwatch, you see that there are two files here. One says Razer Chroma and Razer Chroma 64, I'm sorry. Now this is exactly what it's gonna do. You click here on patch Overwatch and you are going to select it. You look for it and let's just delete it. You will see that as soon as I say accept, it will add the two files here so it communicates with it. Now there is a problem with this. Right now most of these patch game thingies are not working correctly. It seems that the developer lost communication within the application for some games. I don't know exactly what's going on, but everything that requires patches, for example League of Legends, which works exactly the same, Hotline Miami, the Taos Principle, Grand Theft Auto, everything that requires to be patched is not working right. So my suggestion is go to the, if you want to go directly here, to the forum and the issues section, you go to Aurora, you click on this desktop settings, on the general settings, this little grind here, you go on about, and the GitHub will be what you want to do, and it will automatically take you to the issues part. Now here people will be able to help you better than me, because I am new to this as well. I'm just showing you how to make it work and how good it is and what's the potential that this has. Go ahead, play with it. And as soon as you have an issue, let me know. As soon as you discover something, let me know as well, and I will do my best to help you out, alright? Thank you, and I hope you get a really nice day. I hope you enjoy your keyboard and your games with the actual lighting effects that are needed for it. See you.